Hola muchachos, feliz lunes. Well, it's lunes for you, but for me, it's still domingo. It's been a nice weekend in the neighborhood. It was kind of noisy this morning. People outside mowing their lawns, dogs barking, kids outside. So it was a good time. One of the things that's been a real advantage or a real pleasure about this whole situation is the amount of time that I get to spend seeing my neighbors, even though it's across the fence or across the yard, but still, helping each other out, relying on each other, running to the store and getting things for each other. It's been a really nice experience. Speaking of nice experiences, there is a new ECTV episode out for their first quarantine edition. You can find that on the district website, and I'm sure the school will be promoting it as well. As always, the kids did a great job. I love watching ECTV. It inspired me to go back and look at some of the previous episodes while I was there on the web page. So congratulations to everybody who was a part of that, and keep those coming. They really help us maintain some sort of sense of community and normalcy. So I appreciate your hard effort. It can't be easy. The reason I'm here today is I want to talk a little bit about our lessons for today, lunes el 20 de abril 2020. For part one, we're going to do the Musica Madness thing, and then we're going to get into part two, which is a vocabulary list in your packet, 2 pages worth, or 3 pages worth, I'm sorry, 12, 13, and 14. 3 links, a link to your e-tech, a text, a link to the audio, the recording of it, and a link to the video instruction. The audio is also available via the e-text. So if you go there, you'll be able to hear the audio. And here is the e-text. I already have it up. So up at the top, you'll see we are going to learn about getting ready for events and daily routines. That's a big part of this chapter, is getting ready. Now, this list of words has a lot of names. Sometimes I'll call them bathroom words or potty words because these are things we tend to do by ourselves privately. We put on our makeup, or we brush our teeth or our hair, or we take a bath, we go to bed, or we get up, all these things. They're also called reflexive verbs, or sometimes I'll call them selfie verbs because they are things that we do to ourselves, right? I brush myself the hair. I fix myself the hair. I put on myself the makeup. I paint myself the fingernails. I put myself to bed. Now, your English speaking ears are listening to those sentences and thinking, whoa, Mr. Bell, that sounds weird. I paint myself the fingernails? No, I paint my fingernails. It's just a different way of doing it. In English, we use the possessive pronoun to say, I paint my, or possessive adjective, I'm sorry, I paint my fingernails. In Spanish, we say, I paint myself the fingernails. That's all. And so you've been using the word that we use to do this, may, for a very, very long time. Way back to Spanish 1, in the very early chapters when you learned my name is me llamo Henry, that me llamo actually means I call myself Henry. So you are experts at this already. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh your memory as we go through this and introduce it in some different context. So here, as I said, the audio is up at the top. I'm going to play it from my phone because it sounds a little bit better for you. Here we go, and read along in this first paragraph.
Mañana es la boda de mi tía Chayo. Estoy entusiasmada. Voy a acostarme temprano y mañana voy a levantarme temprano y ducharme lentamente. Luego, quiero ir al salón de belleza. Quiero arreglarme el pelo y pintarme las uñas.
Okay.
Despertarse. Mañana es la boda.
Got it. So, taking a look at that first paragraph from Lily, can you find any verbs? There's many of them underlined. They don't look like our typical verbs, do they? What do you notice that's different about them? Well, if you picked anything that ended in a may, you were right. You got a verb. And that's what the difference is. Acostarme. ducharme, levantar lentamente. Sorry, that's not one, right? Arreglarme. And here's one that's not underlined. Pintarme las uñas. Again, why the me? Because we're doing this to ourselves. I put myself to bed, I shower myself, then I fix myself the hair, and I paint myself the fingernails. Pintarme las uñas. Now these are in the infinitive form, because you notice we have a helping verb out here. Quiero arreglarme el pelo. I want to fix myself the hair, right? So this is happening back to myself. Quiero arreglarme el pelo. These mays can be changed. There's te and say and nos and os and say again, because these all would have to be you want to fix yourself the hair, right? If you put up here like tú quieres arreglarme el pelo, that would read you want to fix my hair. The structure is the same and it uses the same words, but now it's no longer reflexive because I'm not doing it to myself. You want to do it to me. Capiche? Comprende? Okay. If we look down here, we can see some of those instances where the may has changed. Here it uses the say. That is the he, she, usted, and it form. So these are the typical infinitives that you will see in a dictionary or on a site like wordreference.com. Despertarse is to wake oneself up. Ducharse, to shower one's self. Cepillarse los dientes, to brush oneself the teeth. Okay, now again, Mr. Bell, why don't we just say to brush your teeth? Because it's a slightly different format, and my job here is to try to get your ears used to hearing it like this, so you can hear that in your brain when you're making those sentences yourself in Spanish. To dry oneself. If it was going to be to dry myself, it would be secarme. Okay? You'll see splattered in here are some nouns like el secador, el agua de colonia, el pene en el cepillo, la toalla. See? And the pronunciation of these can be a little bit challenging. That's why I recommend that you listen as you go through here and get introduced to the correct pronunciation, because I'm not going to go over all of them here today. So you're going to take this information and we are going to transfer it over into our vocabulary list, which is right here. We'll start on page 12 in our packet, and you'll notice it starts off with a lot of the nouns and the adjectives, the prepositions, prepositional phrases, and then boom, at the bottom of page 12, it gets into the verbs. I give you 3 spaces for each verb, so we can start to get familiar with the different forms. Despertarse, which is a stem changer, E to IE, and there are a handful of stem changers in this unit, means to wake oneself up. Despertar, to wake up. Despertarse, to wake oneself up. Then I'll put it in the yo and the to form. I wake myself up. You wake yourself up. Me despierto, te despiertas. That's going to be the same way through many of these. Then you will run into some that have extra words in parentheses. You know, when you wake yourself up, you don't wake yourself up something. You know, I wake myself up the bed. No, I wake myself up the alarm clock. It doesn't make sense. But here, I brush myself the teeth. So you will see things in parentheses that go with this expression. If I just said me cepillo, there'd be a question after that. ¿Qué te cepillas? What are you brushing? Are you brushing los dientes? ¿Te cepillas el pelo? ¿Qué te cepillas? So you have to put something after it. So I provide some examples here and give you a space to translate those as well. Cepillarse, to brush one's teeth. to brush one's hair. Okay? And down here you'll need to do it again. I brush my teeth. I brush my hair. See? Okay. So now that we're getting the hang of that, you'll go through those and you'll run it down here into some more nouns and things that you can use. Okay? Etc. So you'll stop at the bottom of page 14. After that, this will be due for Tuesday. We'll be working with it on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, I look forward to seeing everybody for a game of Gimkit that will use all of these. Okay? So hopefully you had a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions or concerns, email, Google Classroom, that's ways to reach me. Okay? Bueno, adios.